Seattle divisional predictions. NFC West. Niners are the best team in the NFL talent-wise. I've got them going 12-5. I'm only putting them at 12. They're good enough to go 15-2 in my eyes. Just I worry about the health of the quarterback position. If Sam Darnold gets in there, that could be a problem. But I've got the Niners at 12-5. I actually decided to give Seattle double-digit wins. I know you've been high on Seattle for a while, Ryan.
I love Seattle.
Can you give me what's before we even get to further predictions? What's your saying about Seattle? About they can play anywhere.
Oh, the Seattle Seahawks are like a Dr. Seuss book. They can play on a train. They can play on a plane. They can play anywhere, like green eggs and ham. You could take them anywhere, and that's what I love about Seattle.
They run the football well. They by the way,
they got dogs, man. They got Bobby Wagner back too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's gonna be huge for
Jamal
Bobby
Adams.
Wagner.
Hopefully, he'll play like 2 games, and he'll be good for them for 2 games, and he'll get hurt, but still.
And the thing, too, for Seattle is the fact that, they had such a young roster last year. A lot of, Reek Woolen was huge for him last year. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player. Offensive line, which was a huge concern sort of towards the end of the Russell Wilson era. All of a sudden, they get that right. It's excellent. Geno Smith, obviously, comeback player of the year. And they added Jackson Smith and Jigba, arguably the best receiver out of last year's draft, to pair up with Metcalf, to pair up with Lockett. If my man, what's his name, running back from Michigan State, who plays there? Oh, my gosh. Number 9. I'm blanking on his name. This is
Michigan
State. What I'm
State.
talking about. See, I'm kicking myself now. I'm gonna have to Google this.
I'm kicking. They got a stable of guys there because they got DJ Dallas too, the guy out of Miami they drafted a couple years ago. Kenneth Walker, yes.
Kenneth Walker. I loved him at Michigan State. Yeah, but he had a great rookie season last year. Offensive line good. So listen, I have a hard time believing Seattle's going to regress. By the way, Pete Carroll, if God forbid, knock on wood, something happens to Geno Smith, Pete Carroll can get in there and play quarterback. We saw the tape from practice. He looks good.
He can get back there.
He's the 35-year-old, 75-year-old. That's what he is. Rams at 7-10. I decided to put them up to 7. I probably should have regressed that even further, but they have no depth whatsoever. Only reason I put them at 7 is the fact that I hope, this is hope against hope, that Stafford stays healthy long enough for them to at least be competitive in some games. McVay is still a great coach. He just doesn't have a heck of a lot to work with. Aaron Donald's still great. The question is, will he last beyond the season? Is there a potential huge storyline? Could the Rams trade Aaron Donald to sort of put them on the track to rebuild? That's gonna be a question for them. I think the Cardinals going 1-16. I decided to give them one win just because they got my man Josh Dobbs as their starting quarterback potentially. So I'm gonna be nice to my man Space Dobbs, but going 0-17 is very hard to do. So I've given Arizona a win, but I think the Cardinals are gonna have the number 1 pick in the draft. So NFC West, Ryan, what's your thoughts?
I like it. The only thing this is gonna be clickbait here, but or what do you call it, a hot take?
Yeah,
I like Seattle. I like Seattle winning the division. I think they're tailored to contest the 49ers. I mean, they're tough. I think right now, if we look at the quarterback play, who's got the better quarterback? I would say Geno
I'm still
Smith
rolling with Sturdy Purdy, Ryan. I'm still rolling with Sturdy Purdy. Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know how that shoulder is going to be. Yeah, now he's going into year 2. People have film on him now. Defensive coordinators know him. They know his tendencies now. Will he be able to just be that like game manager type of player? Not to say the Niners are not a good roster. They got a great roster. Like they still have one of the best rosters in the National Football League. But I'm really picking with my heart on this one, really, because honestly, logically, I should say San Francisco, and I get it, right? Some people might call me clowns in the chat, but I really like Seattle, man. I really do. Just like you mentioned, the additions that they made. The offense got a little bit more punch in there. And that's a tough place to play too. Going to Seattle, the Northwest, it sucks. It sucks, man. So, but everybody, I mean, the Rams. I think the Rams they sold out for that Super Bowl, and well deserved. They got it, and now they're gonna suck for the next couple of years for sure. They're gonna have to do a fire sale on a lot of these guys. And look, Cooper Kupp is questionable. I think he got hurt earlier this last week. Like, so what's going on with him? Aaron Donald. He's still a dominant force, but he's not going to will you to any wins like that. Like, there's no really defensive player that could just outright win you games like that. So, and then the Cardinals, we my thoughts on them. I've always clowned them in the offseason, from their jerseys to just everything. Like they're going to suck really bad. and that I don't know if you guys heard that clip from their coach.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, Ryan, do you have fire in your gut, Ryan?
Yeah, after I eat like a burrito with hot sauce, yeah. But not after that speech. That was the worst speech Of all,
It was so
and,
bad.
and let me give you some insight. I don't know if all coaches do this, but me as a coach, a lot of the times I prep my pregame speech a little bit. Just sometimes it's from the heart. A lot of it is from the heart, but a lot of it is things that I want to hit during that because I want to be able to speak to these players. I want to play on their heartstrings a little bit, right? And that guy, I don't know if he woke up that day and he listened to himself in the mirror and was like, that sounds really motivating. It really wasn't. And you can look in the room. They're all kind of like, it's just as cringeworthy as the let's go eat a W.
Oh yeah,
That was cringy. And Jonathan Gannon, is that his name? Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon. Yep.
That was terrible.
It was like an office skit. It was like a Saturday Night Live skit. It was very weird. And I was like, even when he first met his first players, that when we saw that clip and he was coming, like, yeah, what's up? Like it's like, but maybe that that wore off on him. What's the name? I'm drawing a blank. The head coach of the Eagles. Nick Sirianni.
Like he was weird like that too when he first had his first presser. If everyone remember, he was kind of weird too because he was. But this guy is just he won't be there long. I mean, he won't even be there long enough to have 15 minutes of coffee. Okay, so the Cardinals are gonna suck. They're gonna be the worst team in the National Football League. We can put it down right now. I'll put a dollar on it right now that they're gonna be the worst team, and Caleb Williams will be in Glendale next year taking snaps for the Arizona Cardinals, and Kyler Murray will be shipped off somewhere else so he can go maybe join the FaZe clan and play Call of Duty or whatever he likes to play in some social media house. I don't know, but.
And listen, if the good news for the Cardinals, obviously there's not any good news this season, but you have your first-round pick, which I think we both think is going to be number 1 overall. They've got Houston's pick from the Will Anderson trade, and they'll get some picks from Kyler Murray when they move him. So, listen, if they're able to get the coach right, I'll tell you one thing they do need to change. They got to change the dang uniforms. Those uniforms suck.
They're like practice jerseys. Cool. When I seen them, I was like, oh, those are cool practice jerseys. Oh, wait, those are the game jerseys? As a fan of that team, I'm not a fan, but if I was a fan of that team, I am not going to pay $120+ for a practice jersey. I can just go to Big Five or a Dick's Sporting Good or whatever your local sporting goods store in your town, and buy a practice jersey. Arizona Cardinals, you got to do better. You got to do better, man. Like, come on, let's be real. It's bad.
Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.